Welcome back to my channel, back to new. Today we have a very standard nightstand. Actually, we have two of them. I found them separate places. One was actually bought from Goodwill and the other one was bought from an individual on Facebook Marketplace. I paid $15.99 at Goodwill and $20 for the person on Facebook Marketplace. So a grand total of $35. It looked very nice, except for the corners on two. I think you'll see a little bit more on that here in just a little bit, but I really had to put in the work. We'll talk about that later, but before I forget, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Back to new and hit that bell also. All right, so we start off cleaning. I degrease this with a lot of degreaser. I don't even know what I use anymore. I have a few things, and I always tell people, definitely you want to clean the inside, because when you sell these things, you want to sell them like brand new, and the inside must be just as clean as the outside. As I was telling you earlier, I had some issues with the corners on this, a lot of issues. So now what I'm trying to do is just kind of bring them to shape, and I'm scraping them. This one is actually not the bad one. It's the other side that's really bad. You'll see that here in a little bit. But after I scraped it, I tried to keep it in place because it's like some of that particle board was coming apart, and put that shellac on it so I could keep it together. And then I went and cleaned the other one. So I'm gonna do a little bit of back and forth. This is the one that's actually in pretty good shape that I bought from the individual. The one that I bought from Goodwill is the one that gave me the most trouble. No wonder someone donated that bad boy. Okay, now let's get this pink stuff on. Looks like yogurt. You got to put this pink stuff all over. It's funny, I see some people use their hand to wipe it in, and I tried it, can't do it. It makes me feel icky. So what I did is I just put it on and use that little foam brush. Here's the other one. And as you can see up top corner, look at those corners. We're having corner issues. Remember, I think I should name this the corner dresser. I'm not, but I should. I believe I let it stay on for about 30 minutes before I took it off. And it's been 30 minutes now. So I pulled the plastic off. You know, you can't let it sit too long because it dries out. I've had that problem before. So now it's time to pull the plastic off and get to work. It scraped off very, very easy. For that, I'm pleased. And it's funny because it's the same kind of desk, but they both came off different. That one just kind of scraped off pretty simple. But the second one, it rolled off, as you can see in this next shot. It's just rolling off. The first one scraped. Clean it up. Now what I want to do is clean it up and get all that stuff off really, really good. And then I let it dry, and off camera, I didn't show you, but I cleaned it up again. Now it's time to go to work. This is the first time I try to get this corner together. Now this is the moment of truth. I've seen a lot of videos on how to fix these corners, and of course I wanted to do it correctly. I've seen people put nails in them. I tried that. I've seen people put putty. I've tried that. I've seen people put little dowels in there. I've tried that, and quite honestly, I'll do the big reveal here in just a little bit. But I did everything I possibly could to get this to work. Let me just go ahead and tell you, right now it's not gonna work. So I'm putting putty on both sides. It's actually working on this second side. So that went on, I scraped it pretty well, but this first side, it didn't. I used my knife, I'm cutting through, trying to make sure that I can get a good straight cut. But I don't know if it was my knife and I cut too deep or what happened on this first one, but this one didn't work. So I scraped it, and then I think off camera, I must have leaned into it or something, and the corner broke off. So it wasn't gonna work anyway. It was just a terrible job. One thing is for certain, this is sped up. So I'm putting in the elbow grease. Also, I'm putting that shellac on there, thinking that maybe it will hold in place. But again, that didn't work. So strike one. Now what I'm doing on the drawer, I'm just taking the knobs off. I'm not gonna use those knobs. This is a different kind of way to put the screws in. Normally you screw the drawer, but this time it's different. I'm gonna close them up because I'm not really sure what handles I'm gonna use, but I just know it's not this handle. So I just figured I'd go ahead and close them all up now and just drill some holes in later. Now I'm out of cardboard, so don't judge me, but typically I use a cardboard or some paper or something a little more sturdy. That plastic was not sturdy at all. I do not recommend anybody do that. That was just a headache. And I didn't speed it up, so that was real time, but it was just such a headache. Now putting this on is sped up a little bit, and this wasn't as much of a headache, but what I wanted to do was get it nice and thick and get it inside the hole. I know you guys didn't want to see that, so I sped that part up. Now it is time for some sanding. At first, I wanted to sand the top off and just stain the top, and I was gonna stain the bottom. But as you can see, I have some particle board or whatever sticking out, and I've dealt with that before. So now I'm just scuff sanding the whole nightstand because I decided I'm just gonna paint it. But that's fine. We're gonna see some nice results at the end. So I'm painting the whole thing. Now, I don't know if I showed you or not, but I do have my pad on. So oftentimes when I get a corner, or whenever I have a corner, I actually use a pad. It's a lot of work doing this, as you guys may know. And sometimes when you can avoid as much work as possible, you want to. What I'm using here is Beyond Paint. Beyond Paint is an all-in-one, and no, I don't get paid by them. You can look at my subscriber. It's like 50 something subscribers. But Beyond Paint is all in one. It's a primer, it's paint, and it's a top coat. So this saves me a whole lot of time. Actually, I don't even think I needed to sand it. But because I didn't know what I was going to do at first. And plus I didn't think that I was going to go with this black color. And when I saw that I had Beyond Paint, I decided, well, hey, why don't I just use that? Here's strike two. This one actually didn't work either because you don't see it, and I kind of fool you guys, but I nailed it in and that one cracked. So I cut the camera off, found another little small piece, actually cut another small piece off, and I put this on. Now this actually works. Just to give you a little spoiler alert, this one actually works. But this is actually, after a couple strikes and a couple foul balls, this is probably about the fourth, maybe even the fifth time that I tried something. But it works, and so now I'm just trying to shape it up, make sure I have enough putty on there, fill in every hole, every crack, every cranny, everything I possibly may need, so that when I get ready to start sanding this thing, I definitely want for it to work. Now, I'm going back and forth between the two nightstands. So this is actually the nightstand that's in good shape. With this Beyond Paint, you have to dab it into those cracks like this one here. I'm dabbing straight, and then after I do a straight dab, I dab up, then I dab down, so that I can make sure that I get everything in there. And I only did it one time. I didn't think that I needed to do 2 and 3 coats of dab. But as you can see, it looks really good. And I don't think I show it at the end, but trust me, it looks really, really good. Like paint is just all throughout. This paint came out really nice. It almost looks like a spray paint. And you'll see at the end. Now, here we go. Which handle do I use? See, these handles here look good. But because I was going to stain it originally, these brown handles are the ones that I originally wanted to use. I had these handles here on hand, but it looks a little bit small. So I chose not to do it. Before we show the big reveal, go and subscribe, hit that button. Here's one more look at it before, and here's after.